Chosen one, listen carefully. This is not just another message, and it is not appearing in your life by chance. If these words have reached you, it is because something within you is awakening, and it is time for you to understand why your path has always felt heavier, deeper, and more demanding than those around you. With great power comes great responsibility. Most people hear that phrase and think of strength, status, or authority. But chosen one, this truth speaks far beyond the physical world. It speaks directly to you, to your soul, your struggles, and the unseen weight you have carried for most of your life. You may have noticed it early on. Life never let you stay small for long. While others move forward comfortably, you were pushed, sometimes painfully, into growth, self-reflection, and transformation. You were forced to mature faster, to see deeper, and to feel more intensely. You weren't given the luxury of ignorance. And even when you tried to live like everyone else, something within you refused to let you settle. Chosen one, have you ever wondered why challenges seem to find you no matter where you go? Why just as you begin to rise, something appears to test you? Why emotional storms come without warning, leaving you drained, confused, or questioning yourself? These experiences are not signs of failure. They are signals of calling. There have likely been moments of extraordinary clarity, times when everything made sense, when you felt connected to a higher truth, when your intuition spoke louder than logic. But those moments are often followed by deep emotional lows, sudden negativity, unexplained exhaustion, or internal battles you can't fully explain to anyone else. And when you try to talk about it, most people don't understand. They tell you to relax, to stop overthinking, or to be normal. But you know deep down, this life was never meant to be ordinary. Chosen one, your path is challenging, because it must be. Growth is demanded of you, because you carry responsibility. Not just for yourself, but for the light you bring into the world. You were not designed to blend in. You were designed to stand firm when others collapse, to remain conscious when others fall asleep, and to rise when resistance intensifies. This is why life has required more from you. More discipline, more healing, more inner work, more resilience. Not because you are weak, but because you are capable. If you have felt targeted, misunderstood, or isolated, understand this. Light does not go unnoticed. It disrupts stagnation. It exposes what hides in the shadows. And anything that carries truth, clarity, and depth will always face opposition. That opposition is not punishment. It is confirmation. Chosen one, this message is not meant for everyone. If someone stumbled upon these words and feels nothing, they are free to leave. But if something within you is stirring, if you feel seen, exposed, or validated, then you already know this message is meant for you. You are being called to understand what has been happening beneath the surface of your life, to recognize the invisible battles you've been fighting, to learn how to protect your energy, reclaim your power, and walk forward with clarity instead of confusion. Stay with this message until the end. What you are about to understand will not only explain your past, it will change how you move through your future. Chosen one, your awakening has already begun. 1. You were not chosen for comfort. Chosen one, being chosen was never about privilege, superiority, or ease. If anything, it has been the opposite. You were not selected for a life of comfort. You were selected for a life of responsibility, refinement, and transformation. And this truth explains why your journey has felt heavier than most. From early on, life demanded more from you. You were pushed into situations that forced you to grow when others were allowed to remain unchanged. While people around you moved casually through life, you were confronted with lessons that required depth, awareness, and emotional strength. You didn't get the luxury of staying asleep. Something inside you kept urging you to wake up. Chosen one, this is because your soul carries weight, and weight is not given to those who cannot bear it. You may have wondered why you couldn't tolerate shallow environments, fake connections, or meaningless pursuits. Why small talk drains you. Why surface-level success never satisfied you. It's because your spirit is calibrated for truth, not distraction. You are wired for purpose, not comfort. And that wiring makes your path demanding. Comfort dulls growth, ease weakens awareness, and stagnation suffocates purpose. That is why your life has been shaped by pressure. You were given challenges not to break you, but to sharpen you. Every loss, betrayal, delay, and disappointment was a refinement process, Each one stripped something away, illusions, attachments, false identities, until only what was real remained. While others accumulated, you were purified. While others escaped pain, you were initiated through it. Chosen one, this is not cruelty. This is preparation. You were not chosen because you were flawless. You were chosen because you were resilient. Because even when life knocked you down, something within you kept standing back up. Even when you doubted yourself, you never fully disconnected from truth. Even when you wanted to quit, you didn't surrender your essence. That is strength most people will never understand. This is also why your mistakes felt heavier. When you strayed from your path, the consequences came faster. When you ignored your inner knowing, discomfort followed. That wasn't punishment, it was correction. Your soul does not allow you to wander far because your purpose is precise. Chosen one, others can live out of alignment for years and feel nothing. You cannot. Your spirit demands integrity. That is why guilt, restlessness, or inner tension arise when you try to settle for less than who you are meant to be. That inner pressure is not your enemy. It is your compass. It keeps pulling you back to truth, back to growth, back to responsibility. And responsibility is the true mark of being chosen. You are entrusted with awareness, with discernment, with depth. And awareness carries weight. Once you see, you cannot unsee. Once you know, you cannot unknow. You are accountable to your own consciousness. This is why your life feels intense, why your emotions run deep, why your experiences feel layered and meaningful, even when painful. You are not here to drift. You are here to carry something. Chosen one, understand this clearly. You were not chosen to be admired. You were not chosen to be comfortable. You were chosen to be capable of holding light when others collapse into fear, capable of standing firm when truth is unpopular, capable of walking alone when the path demands solitude. And yes, that comes with loneliness, with misunderstanding, with moments where you wish you could trade depth for simplicity. But simplicity was never your assignment. You are being shaped into someone who can walk through darkness without becoming it, someone who can feel pain without losing wisdom, someone who can rise without arrogance. Chosen one, this chapter of your life is not asking you to escape responsibility. It is asking you to accept it, to stop questioning why your path is harder, and start recognizing that your capacity is greater. You were not built for comfort, you were built for purpose. And now that you understand this, the next step is learning why resistance increases the moment you rise, and why opposition is not a sign to stop, but a signal to continue. Chapter 2. Why the darkness targets you, chosen one. If you have ever asked yourself why resistance intensifies the moment you begin to rise, this chapter will bring clarity. The opposition you face is not random, and it is not personal in the way you may think. It is directional. It responds to movement, and most importantly, it responds to light. Darkness does not waste energy on what poses no threat. The reason your life feels like a constant battle, especially when you choose growth, truth, or discipline, is because something within you disrupts stagnation. Your awareness challenges systems built on unconsciousness. Your presence exposes what prefers to remain hidden, and that makes you a target. Chosen one, understand this clearly. You are not attacked because you are weak. You are challenged because you are effective. Every time you elevate your thinking, refine your habits, or step closer to your purpose, resistance appears. Old patterns resurface. Toxic people re-enter your life. Doubt whispers louder. Emotional pressure increases. This is not coincidence. It is counterforce. Just as pressure increases, when something rises against gravity, opposition increases when consciousness rises against ignorance. You carry a frequency that does not blend easily with lower states of awareness. This makes some people uncomfortable around you without them knowing why. They may criticize you, misunderstand you, compete with you, or attempt to diminish you. Others may drain you emotionally or challenge your boundaries, not because you provoke them, but because your presence forces self-confrontation they are not ready for. Chosen one, light does not argue, it reveals, and revelation is threatening to anything built on illusion. This is why moments of progress in your life are often followed by confusion or emotional turbulence. The mind tests you. Fear tries to regain control. Old wounds resurface. These are attempts to pull you back into familiarity, because familiarity feels safer than transformation. But safety is not your assignment. Your life is structured around awakening, and awakening dismantles comfort zones. When you move forward, everything that benefited from your previous version resists the change. That includes habits, relationships, environments, and internal patterns that no longer align with who you are becoming. Chosen one, this resistance is a threshold. Many turn back here, many interpret pressure as failure. Many mistake opposition for a sign they are doing something wrong. But those who are chosen learn a different truth. Resistance appears when you are doing something right. Think back to the moments when your life felt most challenging. You were likely on the verge of a breakthrough. A shift in awareness, a deeper understanding of yourself, pressure preceded expansion. This is the law of refinement. Fire reveals what is real by burning away what is false, and your life has been filled with fire, not to destroy you, but to expose your strength. Chosen one, darkness does not create power. It only reacts to it. That is why negativity seems to surround you when you shine. Why doubts intensify when you step into clarity. Why isolation appears when you commit to truth. These are not signs to retreat. They are signals that you are crossing into a higher level of responsibility. You are being trained to remain centered under pressure, to hold your integrity when misunderstood, to keep moving forward without external validation. And yes, this path can feel lonely, but loneliness is often the space where clarity forms. Chosen one, the goal of opposition is not always to stop you. It is often to delay you, to exhaust you, to make you doubt yourself long enough to abandon your path voluntarily. That is why self-trust is essential. When you know who you are, resistance loses its leverage. You are not meant to fight blindly. You are meant to understand what you are facing. And now that you understand why opposition appears, the next question becomes unavoidable. How does this pressure affect your inner world? Because the battle does not begin externally, it begins emotionally. And in the next chapter, you will understand why your emotions feel so intense, why highs and lows come in waves, and why emotional mastery is one of your greatest strengths as a chosen one. Chapter 3, the emotional warfare you feel is real. Chosen one, if your emotions feel more intense than those of the people around you, this is not a flaw. It is a signal. You are not emotionally unstable, weak, or broken. You are highly attuned. And in a world that numbs itself to survive, sensitivity becomes a battleground. Your emotional landscape is not accidental. It is one of the primary arenas where pressure is applied to you, because emotions are the gateway to your energy, your focus, and your clarity. When those are destabilized, everything else becomes harder to access. This is why emotional warfare targets you first. You may experience moments of deep peace, insight, and inner knowing, followed by sudden drops into heaviness, anxiety, sadness, or agitation, without any clear external cause. One moment you feel aligned, the next you feel overwhelmed. This swing can leave you questioning your progress, doubting your strength, or wondering if something is wrong with you. Chosen one, nothing is wrong with you. What you are experiencing is the effect of heightened awareness operating in a dense environment. Your emotional system is more sensitive because it is designed to detect subtle shifts, both within you and around you. This sensitivity allows you to perceive truth quickly, but it also means you feel disturbances more deeply. Where others suppress, you process. Where others numb, you absorb. Where others distract themselves, you confront. That is why emotional pressure feels amplified in your life. You are not meant to live disconnected from your emotional truth. You are meant to master it. But mastery does not come without exposure. This is why unresolved emotions rise to the surface so often. Old memories, forgotten wounds, and buried fears reappear not to torment you, but to be integrated. Your path demands emotional honesty because anything hidden becomes a vulnerability. What remains unhealed becomes an entry point for destabilization. Chosen one, your emotional lows are not failures. They are invitations. Invitations to slow down, to listen, to observe what is being revealed. But many times, instead of observing, you judge yourself. You tell yourself you should be stronger by now, that you shouldn't feel this way, that you're behind. This self-judgment deepens the pressure, and keeps the emotional cycle spinning. Understand this. Emotional intensity does not mean emotional weakness. It means emotional capacity. You feel more because you are capable of carrying more awareness. But this also means you must learn regulation. Without regulation, sensitivity becomes exhaustion. This is why emotional fatigue shows up so often in your life. You may feel drained without understanding why. You may sleep and still wake up tired. You may feel overstimulated by noise, crowds, or conversations. Your system is constantly processing information that others overlook. Chosen one, rest is not optional for you. It is strategic. When you ignore your need for rest, stillness, and reflection, your emotions compensate by forcing you to slow down. Burnout is not a punishment. It is a boundary you did not set consciously. This emotional warfare also explains why certain environments or people affect you deeply. After being around some individuals, you may feel heavy, confused, or irritable. This is because your emotional field is highly receptive. You register incongruence, dishonesty, or unresolved emotion even when it is unspoken. This ability is powerful, but unmanaged, it becomes overwhelming. That is why emotional discernment is essential. Not every emotion you feel originates from you. Not every emotional wave requires action. Some require observation, grounding, and release. Chosen one, your task is not to suppress emotion, nor to be consumed by it, but to witness it without losing your center. When you learn to pause instead of react, emotional warfare loses its grip. When you name what you feel without identifying as it, clarity returns. When you stop resisting emotional depth and begin navigating it consciously, your emotions transform from obstacles into guidance. Your highs remind you of what alignment feels like. Your lows show you where integration is still needed. This is emotional intelligence at its highest level. And once you understand this, emotional fluctuations stop controlling you. You begin to move through them with awareness rather than fear. Chosen one, emotional mastery is not about being calm all the time. It is about being stable in motion, about remaining rooted even when waves pass through you. And when you achieve this, something shifts, because emotional instability is often the doorway through which exhaustion, doubt, and confusion enter. But once that doorway is guarded, the next phase becomes visible. In the next chapter, you will learn how emotional pressure manifests as physical, mental, and circumstantial interference, and how to recognize the signs being. Chapter 4, Signs You Are Under Spiritual Attack. Chosen one, not every struggle you face is psychological, emotional, or circumstantial. Some pressure does not originate from your thoughts, your choices, or your actions. It appears suddenly without warning and feels disproportionate to what is happening on the surface. This is when you must stop blaming yourself and start paying attention. Spiritual attack is subtle by design. If it were obvious, it would fail. Instead, it works through confusion, exhaustion, distraction, and discouragement. Its goal is not always to destroy you outright, but to wear you down, slow your momentum, and disconnect you from your inner authority. One of the first signs is sudden, unexplained fatigue. This is not ordinary tiredness. It is a deep weariness that settles into your body and mind, even after rest. You may feel heavy, unmotivated, or drained for no clear reason. Tasks that once felt easy now require effort. Your drive weakens. This fatigue often appears right after moments of clarity or progress, because exhaustion is one of the most effective ways to disrupt focus. Another sign is emotional turbulence without context. Waves of anxiety, sadness, irritability, or hopelessness may arise suddenly. There is no clear trigger, no logical explanation. One moment you feel stable, the next you feel overwhelmed. These emotional surges are designed to destabilize you internally, so you question yourself, your direction, and your strength. Chosen one, when emotions appear without cause, do not assume they belong to you. A third sign is disturbing dreams or restless sleep. Your rest becomes fragmented. You may wake up feeling tense, alert, or unsettled, as if your body never fully relaxed. Dreams may feel vivid, heavy, or intrusive. Sleep, which should restore you, begins to drain you instead. This happens because the mind is more open when defenses are lowered, and disruption during rest affects clarity during the day. Another indicator is heightened sensitivity. You may find that crowds, noise, conversations, or even certain locations suddenly feel overwhelming. Your tolerance decreases. You feel overstimulated more easily. This is not weakness. It is your awareness, registering energetic imbalance. When sensitivity increases, it means your system is picking up interference. Chosen one, do not ignore this signal. Isolation is another common sign. Relationships become strained, misunderstandings increase. You may feel disconnected from people who once felt close. Even when surrounded by others, you feel alone. This isolation is not always physical. It is emotional and mental. Its purpose is to make you feel unsupported, unseen, and uncertain, because isolation weakens resolve. You may also notice unexplained obstacles and delays. Plans stall. Opportunities fall apart at the last moment. Progress feels blocked. You work harder, but move slower. This is meant to frustrate you into giving up or settling for less than what you know you are capable of. Chosen one, resistance that appears without reason is never random. Another sign is persistent negative thought loops. Doubt repeats itself. Fear grows louder. You begin questioning your worth, your timing, your readiness. These thoughts feel intrusive and repetitive, as if they do not respond to logic or reassurance. This is how interference attempts to gain authority, by convincing you to doubt yourself long enough to abandon your direction. Understand this clearly. Not every thought you think deserves your agreement. Physical sensations may also accompany spiritual pressure. Tightness in the chest, heaviness in the body, headaches, sudden tension. These sensations often appear when you are resisting something internally, or when your system is under sustained stress. The body speaks when the mind is overwhelmed. Chosen one, your body is not betraying you. It is communicating. The most important thing to understand is this. These signs are not proof that you are failing. They are evidence that you are moving. Pressure increases when something significant is forming. Interference appears when alignment strengthens. Darkness does not react to stagnation. It reacts to momentum. Fear thrives on ignorance. Awareness dissolves it. Once you recognize these signs, they lose their power to confuse you. You stop internalizing pressure as personal weakness. You stop identifying with every emotion, every thought, every delay. You begin responding instead of reacting. And this is the turning point. Because when you no longer panic, when you no longer self-blame, when you no longer spiral, control returns to you. Chosen one, the purpose of this chapter is not to make you afraid. It is to make you alert. Alertness restores authority. Awareness restores stability. In the next chapter, you will learn why being a light in a dense world comes with a cost, and why so many people are drawn to take from you without even realizing it. Chapter 5. The cost of being a light in a dark world. Chosen one, light does not exist without cost, and those who carry it pay a price that few are willing to acknowledge. If you have ever felt drained, misunderstood, or burdened simply by being yourself, this chapter will explain why. You are not designed to blend into environments built on unconsciousness. Your awareness, depth, and integrity naturally disrupt spaces that rely on distraction, denial, or pretense. Even when you say nothing, your presence speaks, and that silent clarity unsettles what is unresolved in others. This is why people react to you in extremes. Some are drawn to you immediately. They feel safe around you. They open up quickly. They lean on you for understanding, comfort, and direction. Others resist you. They criticize, compete, or distance themselves without clear reason. Both reactions come from the same source, your light force's reflection. Chosen one, reflection is uncomfortable for those who avoid self-examination. Because of this, you often become a container for other people's emotions. They unload their fears, frustrations, and confusion onto you, sometimes without realizing it. You listen, you support, you hold space. And over time, this constant emotional exchange leaves you depleted. This is one of the hidden costs of being a light. You may notice that certain people leave you feeling exhausted after interaction. Conversations feel heavy. Your energy drops, your mood shifts. This is not coincidence. It is the effect of unequal energetic exchange, where you give more presence, empathy, and awareness than you receive. Chosen one, not everyone who comes to you intends harm. Many simply do not know how to regulate themselves. But intention does not cancel impact. And without boundaries, even well-meaning people can drain you. Another cost is loneliness. Your depth makes surface-level connections unsatisfying. Small talk feels empty. Shallow goals feel meaningless. You crave conversations that expand awareness, not distract from it. But such connections are rare. This often leaves you feeling isolated, even when surrounded by others. You may have learned to be alone, not because you wanted to, but because solitude was less draining than constant misalignment. Chosen one, solitude is not rejection. It is preservation. Being a light also means you attract people who want access to your clarity without doing their own inner work. They seek answers, reassurance, or motivation from you instead of cultivating it themselves. Over time, this creates imbalance. You become the giver. They become dependent. This dynamic is dangerous, if left unchecked. Because when you are constantly giving, you leave little energy for your own growth. And when your energy is depleted, your clarity fades. The very light others seek becomes dim, not because it is gone, but because it has been overextended. Another cost is being misunderstood. People may label you as intense, distant, or overly serious. They may misinterpret your boundaries as arrogance, your silence as disapproval, or your discernment as judgment. But what they are reacting to is not who you are. It is who they are not ready to become. Chosen one, clarity often looks threatening to confusion. You may also feel pressured to dim yourself to fit in, to soften your truth, to lower your standards, to be less aware so others feel more comfortable. But every time you shrink, something inside you resists. Your spirit refuses to betray itself. That resistance is wisdom. Being a light does not mean being available to everyone. It does not mean absorbing everything. And it does not mean sacrificing yourself to be understood. Your responsibility is not to carry others. It is to remain clear. Chosen one. The cost of being a light is learning when to give and when to withdraw, when to speak and when to remain silent, when to engage and when to protect your energy. If you do not choose this consciously, life will force you into exhaustion until you learn. But once you understand this cost, something shifts. You stop overextending. You stop explaining yourself. You stop pouring into places that cannot receive. And when that happens, your light stabilizes. In the next chapter, you will learn how certain individuals become dependent on your energy and how to recognize the signs before imbalance turns into depletion. You were not chosen to be consumed. You were chosen to illuminate without losing yourself. Conclusion: embrace your light and purpose. Chosen one. If you have journeyed through this message until now, know that you are not here by accident. Every word, every pause, every reflection is aligned with your soul's mission. You are called to read, hear, and feel this guidance because it is time for you to step fully into your divine purpose. Throughout your path, you have faced challenges that often feel disproportionate. Emotional turbulence, unexplained fatigue, disturbances in your energy, and opposition from others are not random misfortunes. They are signs of your awakening, markers that you are carrying a frequency that is higher than the world around you. Your struggles are not a reflection of weakness. They are a testament to your strength and potential. Being a chosen one is not a privilege. It is a responsibility. It requires courage, awareness, and the willingness to walk a path that few can understand. You are here to bring light into darkness, healing into pain, and clarity into confusion. The forces you face, energy vampires, spiritual parasites, emotional obstacles, exist because of your capacity to shine. The brighter your light, the stronger their resistance will be. But this is also your gift. The very pressure you feel is an indication that you are moving in alignment with your higher purpose. Awareness, discernment, and conscious energy protection are your tools. By setting spiritual boundaries, cleansing your energy, raising your vibration, and anchoring yourself in divine alignment, you reclaim your power. You learn to navigate the storms without being consumed. You learn to shine fully while remaining whole. Never forget that your emotions, sensitivities, and heightened awareness are assets, not burdens. They allow you to perceive truth where others cannot. They equip you to act as a guiding force, a beacon for those lost or struggling. But your gifts must be managed, nurtured, and protected. The energy you carry is sacred. Guard it. Reclaim it. When it is scattered, anchor it in divine light and alignment. Chosen one, The path you walk may feel isolating at times. Others may misunderstand you. They may drain you, resist you, or attempt to dim your brilliance. Do not take it personally. It is not about you. It is about them. Their reaction is a reflection of their own unhealed wounds, fears, and insecurities. Your responsibility is not to fix others. Your responsibility is to remain steadfast in your light, your purpose, and your truth. The journey ahead will demand more from you than the ordinary. It will require vigilance, discipline, and faith, but it will also reward you with clarity, empowerment, and a profound sense of connection to your soul and the divine. Every challenge is an opportunity to grow stronger, wiser, and more aligned. Every test is a confirmation that you are on the correct path. Every moment of pressure is proof of your significance. Embrace your higher purpose fully, chosen one. Trust in your inner guidance, your intuition, and the divine alignment that has brought you here. Protect your energy fiercely, cultivate your inner strength, and raise your vibration relentlessly. You are not alone. Your spiritual guides, your higher self, and the divine source are always with you, guiding and supporting you. Step forward with courage. Shine without hesitation. Know that you were chosen for this journey, this mission, this moment. The world needs your light, your wisdom, and your presence. Your path may be challenging, but it is also sacred, transformative, and deeply rewarding. Chosen one, the time has come to rise fully, shine brilliantly, and fulfill the divine mission that is uniquely yours. Protect your energy, honor your purpose, embrace your light. Your journey is not just personal, it is divinely significant. Walk it with strength, clarity, and unwavering faith. The world awaits the light only you can bring.